Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing really well, and as promised that in this video I'm going to discuss about a very important grammatical concept, and that is literary device. So this video is for a little older children of class 8, 9, 10. So if you find this video helpful, then please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So now, without wasting any more time, let's dive into the concept of literary devices. Okay, so what is a literary device? To put it in simple terms, it is a tool that is used by writers to make their writing more engaging, more interesting and more vivid, to keep the readers hooked, to keep them hooked throughout their writing. They use literary device. Now you can almost compare them to the salt that we use in our food. So what will happen if we don't add salt? It will be very plain. Okay, our food will be very plain and we will not like it at all. Similarly, in the case of literary devices, to spice up the writing, to make it more interesting and engaging, the writers use literary devices. Okay, so without wasting any more time, let's get started. Okay, so the first literary device that I'm going to discuss in today's video is that of a simile. So I think everybody knows what is a simile, or even if you don't know, you have a vague idea, right, about a simile. So please just do one thing, write in the comment section what is a simile. Okay, now simile is a literary device that is used to compare two things with the word like or as. Okay, so when we compare two things with the word like or as, it is most likely to be a simile. So let me give some examples. Suppose if I say her lips are like a rose. So what I'm doing here, I'm comparing someone's lips to that of a rose. I'm comparing the delicacy, the tenderness, the redness maybe of a lips to that of a rose. Okay, so here the comparison is being made using the word like or as. So another example I can give you is of the word as. I discussed like, now it's the time to use the word as in an example. Let me give you an example sentence. He is as brave as a lion. So what I'm doing here, I'm comparing the braveness of the boy to that of a lion. He is literally not a lion. Okay, he cannot be a lion, right? How can a human be a lion? But in the metaphorical sense, strength, his braveness is compared to that of a lion. So here what am I doing, or rather what the writer is doing using simile and metaphor, he is trying to hook up the readers and make his or her writing more vivid and engaging. So after simile and metaphor, let us move on to the next literary device, and that is personification. Okay, I hope everybody have heard that you have heard the term personification, right? So a personification is a literary device where a non-living entity is endowed with living attributes. Okay, confused? Don't be, because I'm going to break it into simpler chunks to make it easier. Okay, to make it easier so that you can understand the concept of personification or the literary device personification. To put it in simple terms, when a non-living object or a non-living thing starts behaving or act like a living thing, it is called a personification. Okay, so let me give you an example. The example could be, the city never sleeps. In the literal sense, if you think, a city is an inanimate thing. How can a city sleep? But here the writer, this is a very popular example. What the writer is doing here, he is trying to say that the people of the city never sleep, but simply without saying that the people never sleeps, he is refraining from saying that the people never sleeps and is saying the city never sleeps. So as if the city is a human being or is a living entity. Okay, so that is personification. The next example that I can give you is that the wind howled. Okay, the wind howled. This very short sentence, short and crisp. The wind howled. Here also the literary device that is being used is personification. Wind is an inanimate object. It is not a living entity. Who can howl? An animal, okay, a living thing, a living entity can howl, not a wind. But here the roughness of the wind, or the maybe the intensity of the wind, the fierceness of the wind is being emphasized, as if the wind is so fierce, the wind is so powerful, as if it is almost howling like an animal. So here it is personification. Okay, now the next literary device that I'm going to discuss in today's video is alliteration. So alliteration is much easier than the other literary devices, and it is very easy to spot alliteration whenever you are reading a piece of writing. Okay, it could be a novel, a drama, a short story, it could be anything. Okay, so alliteration is the repetition of the same sound at the beginning of each letter in a sentence. So there is a very popular saying where alliteration is being used. So what is that saying? She sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, so what is happening here? The S sound is repeated many times, almost everywhere, at the beginning of almost every word in this particular sentence. So that is alliteration. Now there is another very popular saying where alliteration is used, that is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay, so here almost at the beginning of every word the P sound is repeated. So this is alliteration. Okay, so it is also used by the writer to put emphasis. Literary devices are mainly for emphasizing, creating an interesting environment, making the context vivid, as if you can almost see them while you are reading a particular text. You can almost see them in front of your eyes. It is so vivid. It is almost like an imagery. Okay, so up to this I hope it's clear. If you have any doubt regarding the 4 literary devices, you can always write in the comment section. I'll try to make it clear with more examples. Okay, now the last one that I'm going to discuss in today's video is hyperbole. Okay, so what is hyperbole? Hyperbole is an exaggeration of facts or exaggeration of whatever you are saying. You are exaggerating something and you are saying something. We are slightly magnifying it rather, or if you don't understand exaggerating, to put it in simple terms, to magnify it, to magnify something and say it. So let me just give you an example and I hope it will be clear after that. So what is the example? My bag weighs a ton. What I am saying here is my bag is very heavy. Simply my bag is very heavy, but I am not using the word very heavy. I am using the word weighs a ton. Why I am doing this? Why am I doing this? I am deliberately doing this using words like weighs a ton to put emphasis on the weight of my bag. Similarly, another example I can give you is, I have told you this a million times. So if you think in the literal sense, how can somebody say something a million times? That is impossible. But here, what am I doing is, I am emphasizing on the word a million times, simply to say that I have told you something several times or many times. In order to emphasize the importance, or in order to emphasize the number of times I have repeated the same thing, or I have told you the same thing. Okay, I hope these 5 literary devices that I discussed in this video is clear, and if it's not clear, you can always come up with your questions and doubts in the comment section. Okay, so this much for today. I hope this video is useful and helpful, and if you find this helpful, please share this video as much as you can. And another thing I would like you to do here is, today onwards, whenever you read something, any piece of literature, please try to spot the literary devices that I just discussed in this video. Okay, so this much for today. In my next video, I'm going to discuss more literary devices. Till then, bye bye, take care.